Top morning, laddies. My name is Chaz, and welcome to the What If I or the Infinity Slamzer was in the X-Men Evolution. Basically, him having the powers of everything, and he never ages in this story, so but he's a first mutant. No one's born with special powers. So, yeah. And he was like, okay. As he walked around, and yeah. So, as he just sits down, as he uses his power, because someone like Toad, who was someone like Toad was in trouble, so he bailed him out of that. As, yeah, he basically went and like, he has like every single problem, but his powers he actually he lives in 3 different time zones: past, present, future. So, yeah, he's the most powerfulest mutant in the world. Like, he passed Magneto and every mutant. Yeah. In the past, he's called the Infinitian by rulers and kings. They get respected him. Heck, even Apocalypse respects him enough. And then the present day, everyone respects him as a person. And then in the future, machines respect him. Like, they just say, oh, leave that mutant alone, okay? So, yeah. Then, sorry. So, Charles accepts him into the X-Men. Or, before, a present day, he walked around and he walked to just visit Wanda. and comforting her. Her as when she was just a teenage girl. But when she got older, he was more like celebrate her birthday through his eyes. As because he telepathically talks to her as she starts tearing up because since after that, like Magneto after her father and her brother puts her in an asylum thing. Yeah. So she he always got her birthdays from him. Kindness. Like, she relies on his kindness so much that even she forgot about how much rage that she has in her. So, yeah. Then, of course, after then, so he goes to the X-Men, or actually Charles Xavier went and or actually it was Wolverine in that told, come on, in you're gonna be a X-Men? Sure. I just wanted to visit with her. As, yeah, he basically understands how comforting someone, as he tells Wolverine that, well, most of your past is just so weird. So when he joined the X-Men in this timeline, this is separate, so yeah. She joined the X-Men. And she like visits with, but when she saw the new guy, she immediately had feelings for him. Like, basically, he trained harder than anyone. As in a danger room, the entire system couldn't activate because he was in the danger room. As And Scott Summers is looking at him. It must be his doing. As Storm knows that he is not doing it. So, yeah, he's just as he has to go pee in the bathroom. As, yeah. So he goes in and, like, after he left, the system started back up. And targeting the rest of them. Yeah. Kurt's like, huh. That's just weird. Everyone thought that was weird. That if he leaves, the system starts back up. Or, as, yeah. And Hunt Summers he was being a little bit of a jerk, but not too much. He went and said, did you force it to go offline? No, Hunt Summers. Actually, I'm kind heart. As they're like, yeah, he thinks, or he says, I think you use your powers to get it off. Because usually it doesn't activate. Or usually it activates. So then, yeah. As he's feeling kind of bad, yeah, the entire Iron Link Storm, like, are you doing that, Storm? No. As he's tearing up because so yeah, the rain, thunder, and everything happened all at once. As they're like, or Summers looked at him, or looked at the outside, and as he's punching the ground, and it's causing like earthquakes every time he like slams his fist to the ground. So yeah. Then the time skip to the him going to school. As yeah, her and rest of them goes to school. Like Kurt and so yeah. Then he ends up like being, or actually after that little incident, when Summers went down or when and told him that he's sorry. It's just the machine. Right. As the weather cleared and earthquake stopped. Like dead stopped. Yeah. So they all went to school. And yeah. Between her and her and her was kind of crushing on their friend. Yeah. And they're like, huh. But he hangs out with her, as he always tells Kurt that no matter what, and you and I are enemy comrades, okay? As he bro fists Kurt. Yeah. So then he's a telepath, so he can, but his power can go into like all the way around the entire globe. But he still talks to Wanda when he gets a chance. Because the people, like humans, like those ones that carry her, sometimes calls him to come on in and comfort her. So, yeah, he's. But one day, the Charles Xavier and went and asked him to assist him, as yeah, to go as when they, of course, he walks, or when they got to there and like the all that thing, her and him locked eyes on each other's, as she she ran, or instead of running the other way, she ran towards him, and he caught him, or he caught her in his arms. So yeah, then as Charles Xavier says you know her really well. Yeah. We both have in common between her and you don't like Magneto because for her it's because of happened to her. That's how she was. I was her friend for quite a long time. Long as I could remember. Yeah. So, in this alternate timeline, instead of her being like, hit me out thing, like, she said, or gifted youngsters. Yeah. So, she joins the X-Men. Because she says, as long as I'm with him, I'm okay with that. So, yeah. As he cares about her. As, yeah, when he goes to school, things. Usually her brother always like, huh, you're pretty stubborn. But, or actually, Quicksilver in this timeline actually has respect for him. And then, like, yeah. Because they know, like, those three know something's up. As he always, of course, she knows that, and, like, she cares about him. So, but one day, when he just was flying around, the guy shot him out of the sky. That guy is that one. So, yeah, he basically shot him out of the air. As right through the entire, like, shoulder. As he landed, like, softly on, because he's, like, linked to the past and present and too. So, as the blood mark on him, so as he said, take him. As he's crawling away, as he uses his power or to help Wanda or someone. Yeah. So, but only person that picked it up was, yeah, Wanda. As she heard the terror in his voice. Sorry. So it was devastating. So she tries to calm down. As, yeah. As he took him to the lab to get experimented on. So, yeah. And she starts like tearing up. As a rest, like Kenny and her and her were like asking what's wrong. Or rest of them says what's wrong. As she says it's Chenmin or actually Infinity. Sorry. And that he got kidnapped. As, yeah. So, then, like, Charles Xavier was like, is there any sign of or any of him? No. Unless he's using his powers. As he uses his power or to as he does a like snap thing, yeah, and it picked up, found him. He's like he's somewhere. So yeah, and those your rest of your kind in our as yeah. And she was not the only one that picked up his telepath, Quicksilver. So, yeah. He basically talked to her before. So, yeah. Then, the weirdest things, like, as they put the explosive into his spine. Hmm. So, yeah. As he remembers. So, yeah. So, Quicksilver. As he tells. It's him. He tells him that if you want to blow up the past, present, future, you're doing it right now. As he says, huh, what do you mean? Because he has a really good memory. So he says, my body's in 3 different time periods: past, present, and the future. As, yeah. Because that's when he was born. Like, so yeah, he basically. And he. And regeneration, but. So, yeah. Then, of course, Wanda, in this timeline, saw what they were doing. Like, they couldn't believe that she couldn't believe that the humans, experimented on him. And, yeah. As she starts having these rage towards him, yeah. As he gets up out of it, and it was like those like spiked ones into like his spinal cord. As he says, if don't touch her friend, and I have the detonator. As he to if he doesn't obey. As yeah. As Pedro went and crushed the device. As they of course she knows, or they all know, that how to short circuit. As yeah, they sliced his like, or that bombs off his back. As they took it off his back. As yeah. Then the next thing, the humans hired creatures like them to go hunt him down. So he did. As yeah. as he uses his power, or as everyone like went on to their school thing, but Charles was like went with them to like do visits things. And yeah, so they came, or so no one was home except for him, because they were all on a mission for something. As yeah, then the except for him, so they're like, huh, or like they broke in and they went around, and yeah, then he like you buzzed it into more, as he uses like a rage, as yeah, he basically raged, and yeah, he pushed them out and like crushed them. So yeah, and or actually teleported them into back to their hideout thing. So yeah. So then all of the stuff, it's a time skip. So yeah, he comes in, or comes with Storm and like all that stuff. Yeah. So he, Storm, and the Beast went to that judge thing to clear their name, as he breathes in and out, as he tells them that, well, it was a time skip, so they so he was basically let me the I know that the all of you are like they are doing like such and such. So yeah. So he explains that we're peaceful characters, or we're peaceful mutants. Some of them, or some of us would rather fight each other's. Yes. So, like, he basically does, like, he was right all the way around. Like, yeah. As he says, well, it looks like you guys are preparing for war. Who's the real enemy? Definitely not us mutants. As he shows a picture of the guy, that made it. He's a human like you. But now it has begun. What do you mean? Well, the Sentinels you think that we built is gonna evolve and like by you humans. So yeah, he basically showed the entire pummeling what it will look like in the future. As yeah, what they saw shocked the entire world. They couldn't believe it. This man started it all. It's not, it's not caused by a human, or it's not caused by mutants or humans. It's caused by him, but the AI evolved. As yeah, they see a nest of like machines. So like all that stuff. As we must work together to stop this threat from happening in this universe. As they all agree, we work together. We're not special like humans or that got these powers. We were born with these powers. And you think we're monsters? After that image. As they're like agreed that no like charges against them. And the people will remember that warning. So, yeah. Then, like, everything goes on. And between her and her and her were all three of them decide to date him and marry him. So yeah. As Henry gets Kurt. Yeah. So, or Lance. So, both of them are all rest of the three dated him, got married to him. And Nathan was 2, 4, 6 kids for each. Like 2 for her, 2 for her, 2 for her. So, yeah. It was weird. Basically, weirder than anyone. And that ever. So, he cares about them. He remembers every birthday. Like, not every gift. Like, everything. So, yeah. So this is the end of the video, and peace out. Please leave a like, share, subscribe.